Herzlich willkommen zum Blue Win Video Chat. Wir sind wieder in Basel an den AWA Sessions und extra für Sie hat man ein Zusatzkonzert gemacht, weil sie so erfolgreich ist. Amy Macdonald, nice to have you here, Amy.
Thank you for having me again.
It's been a little longer than a year since your album This Is the Life came out. What did change in that year?
The amount of work that I have to do. I'm constantly away from home, and it's very tiring. But I'm glad it's that way. I'd rather be working really hard with things going well than sat at home wishing things were going better. So it's always a good sign when you're working very hard.
Mm-hmm. How did your friends and your family react when suddenly you were in the spotlight?
They've always been really supportive, and it was very exciting for them. I mean, my friends in particular, they're so excited by it all, and it's great because I can take my friends to gigs and I can do things with them, and they're really excited by that. But my friends, my family, everyone have always been really supportive and really proud of everything.
Do they brag a little bit? Like, did you see Amy as #1 and stuff?
My mum and dad don't really, but I think my friends probably do. I think they use it to their advantage. Like, do you know whose friend I am? Things like that. But it's really great that they're able to do things like that, and I just find it funny.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember when you heard your song the first time on radio?
I do actually. I was in a flat that I was staying in, and my friend was living with me at the time. And I'd went to bed, but I'd put the radio on. I was just reading a book before I went to sleep, and put the radio on. And she was still awake in the living room, and then I just heard the start of my song Poison Prince, and I just screamed on her. I was like, Kelly! And she comes running, what's wrong, what's wrong? She thought something had happened, and then she instantly heard the song, and we just basically stood there in silence, looking at each other for the 3 minutes of the song, and then afterwards we were like, oh, that's amazing. And that's the first time that I'd heard anything on the radio.
And your parents and friends called and stuff like that when they hear you yourself?
At first, everyone was really excited by it. That was the first time I'd heard it. But my dad and my mum would always come in and say, oh, I heard you on the radio today or whatnot. Like, everyone get really excited, but you eventually get used to it after a while.
Mm-hmm. And now, in this year, you actually one of the hottest things this year in music. You became a star. What's the best part of it, being a music star?
I mean, coming to events like this is great, and I just love playing live, and it's brilliant that people put on gigs like this where it's a proper live show. And this is obviously my second time here now. We were here last week, and myself and the band just had a great time, and everyone here has been so lovely to us. So just being able to meet all the great people like everyone that's here today, and be able to play a gig in front of really supportive fans is brilliant for me. That's my favourite part of it.
Mm-hmm. There must be a flip side as well. What's the worst thing?
There is. I mean, just living out of a suitcase and not being able to be at home as often as you want is the hard part of it. But then I look at it that an album will only last for a certain amount of time, and then you genuinely have time off where you can be at home and you can do all that there. So you get the best of both worlds, really, I think.
Mm-hmm. How do you spend your time being on tour? They say you wait in a hotel, you are on a bus or on a plane, and you're on stage. What do you do?
That's totally right. I think from this past year alone, probably about 60% of my time has been waiting about. Like, we arrive at a venue on a bus, do a sound check, and then wait about until we go on stage, and that's it really. And then as soon as you come off stage, you pack up and you go back in the bus, and you wake up in another city. So it does get quite repetitive, and you do get into a routine, but it's always nice to come to new cities.
But do you see anything of the cities?
Absolutely nothing. That's the one thing that I really hate, and that my band hate as well. We'd love to be able to go out wandering, and you only ever get that chance every once in a while, and it never really comes along that often. So I can say that I've been to all of these lovely countries and all these amazing cities, but I've not actually seen anything when I've been there.
Paolo Nutini said that he keeps a book where he writes down the places he wants to visit when he has time. Do you do something like that?
I haven't done things like that, but I do have a few in my memory that I'd definitely like to come back to and visit properly. And a few of them are actually Switzerland. Like, I'd love to properly see Basel, definitely, and Zurich, and then Bern, which I really loved for from the tiny glimpse that I saw of it. So I've got a few in my mind of places I want to
If you're in
return
Bern,
to.
tell us. We are from Bern.
Really?
Yeah.
I absolutely loved it there. We were playing the Gurtum Festival up on the hill, and we just, myself and my band, just fell in love, and we were all desperate to go back there.
Now you said the flip side is the travel and stuff, but the press is now really looking after you. It's not like Amy Winehouse or someone, but you're in spotlight and they write stuff. Does that bother you?
It doesn't, because it doesn't happen back home. Back home, I'm not the kind of person that stumbles out of nightclubs at 3 a.m. and I have no interest in the whole celebrity or fame thing. It doesn't interest me. For me, I just want to perform, and that's what I get to do tonight. So back home, I'm just a normal person, and I get completely left alone, and nobody ever bothers me, so I can lead a totally normal life.
How's your connection to your fans? Do you have like a fan base following you to all the places you play?
I'm not sure, I mean, there's the odd few faces that I recognise, and I notice when I return to a certain place again, you remember faces, and there's always people like that, and that's brilliant. And there's a few that I know are definitely mega fans and that try and come as many times as they can, and that's really cool. And luckily I seem to have very supportive fans.
Yeah. Pink said that she has male groupies. Do you have something like that?
Definitely not.
No? Okay. Is there a new record planned?
There's nothing planned right now because I'm still incredibly busy with this. I mean, things are just starting to take off practically everywhere, and it's hard to have any time to do anything else. But I mean, I've got 1 or 2 new songs that I'm quite happy with, but I know that I need to have time at home to be able to write properly.
Mm-hmm. You don't write on tour?
I can't. There's nothing that inspires me.
Nothing
Like
at
I
all.
said, I come to these cities, but I don't get to see anything. It would probably be a lot different if I actually had time to go out and see the sights, because then there would be things that inspire me. But every venue looks the same no matter where you are in the world, and that's not that inspirational.
Mm-hmm. And what does inspire you?
Just normal life, my everyday life. Every song on my album was written about everyday life, and when I get home I'm just completely normal, and I have an everyday life, and that's what inspires me to write.
How's about other musicians or other music? Does that inspire you as well?
Yeah, totally. I mean, there's a song on my album called Run, which was completely inspired from seeing the Killers play live in Glasgow. I seen their gig and I was just blown away, and came back and wrote Run based purely on that night. So other music definitely does inspire me.
What was the last record you bought and you listen to right now?
The last record that I bought was the new Razorlight album. So I've been listening to that. There's a few songs that I really love on it, and there's 1 or 2 that I really hate. But I think that there's a few good ones on there, so that's what I've been listening to just now.
Mm-hmm. And what is now the next things you're going to do after the gig today?
I think I've got 1 or 2 days off, and then I'm going to be I'm going to be singing the Scottish National Anthem at Hampden Park on Wednesday night when Scotland play Argentina in a football match with Diego Maradona as their new manager. So that's where I'm off to next.
You know the words?
I definitely know the words, yeah. Very proud Scot.
Okay, we can't wait to see that then on YouTube.
Yep.
It will be up, I'm pretty sure. And after that, you're done with touring for this year?
I've got a few promo trips that I'm going to be doing out to Spain and Italy, and I think maybe France, but proper touring in Europe, yeah. But I've got two gigs at the Glasgow Barrowlands just before Christmas, and I've also got a gig in Newcastle and Southampton just before Christmas. So I've got like a kind of extra mini UK tour just before the end of the year.
But Christmas you spend with your family?
At home, and it'll be very quiet. And I'll do absolutely nothing.
Okay, then we hope that you can relax, and thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
And all the best for the gig tonight.
Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. Das war es mit Amy Macdonald. Wir kommen wieder mit anderen Gästen. Bis dann. Ade zusammen.